Okay, the goal for today is that you are going to have a photo that looks like this, and it will wind up looking like this. So that is your goal. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This is a composite project, so therefore we need to have two different images. We are putting two different images together. So I'm just going to drag my first image over to my screen, and this is going to be a profile image of, in this case, a model. And then I want to have a second image going. So I'm going to go ahead and open my other one, which is these horses. I did intentionally choose two images that were both in landscape just because I thought it would, make life a little bit easier. And I'm just sort of picturing the horses being inside her hair. That's what we're going to be putting the horses. So I might even change the direction of the horses. So first you can always make a copy of this background layer. This is considered good practice. I don't always do it, but you go ahead and lock that back layer and just make it disappear. And just forget that it's there. So now we have our first layer here, and you can do various things to this image before we do the composite. For example, if you feel like you need to come over to the image and adjust the, let's do hue and saturation. Yeah. And so I can move this over. And I can brighten up the image a little bit by adding light to it. There are other ways to add light to images. I'm just putting in a little bit of light here just because I want to accentuate her face a little bit more. I felt it was a little too dark. I'm also going to, well, let's see what my hue does. If I come up, ooh, that's awful. I'm going to reset that. It resets everything. My saturation, maybe a little more saturation. That just means my colors get more colorful, really. And there we go. So I like the way that my image looks right now, and now I am ready to start the composite. So first I'm going to go ahead and look at my image size for adjust image size. So image size. And right now my width is 728. So if I have my other image and it's only, say, 250 wide, well, that is going to make it where my horses will get blurry because I'm trying to make them too big to match this. So my width of this one is 728. Okay, I'll leave it as that. So let me go over to my other image and see what that is. Image size. And look at it's huge. So I'll make it also around 728. I'll make it just 750 for a nice even number. I'm not going to hit that keychain. All I got to do is press enter. And I know it looks like nothing changed, but it did become a smaller image. I'm going ahead and press OK to save that. And there it is. It's a smaller image. That's to make it fit properly into her hair. So now we're going to add a white layer behind her. Just kind of interesting to know how to do this anyway. So we're going to add a new layer. And for this layer, we're going to color it in. So we're going to use the paint bucket, which is behind the gradient tool. I know it's hidden there. And right now, if I paint that layer, it's going to be black. Okay, well, I can delete this. Actually, I'll just go Command Z. So now I'll change this. Huh. There we go. And now I can color in with white. And then bring the layer behind the other layer, and now you have your white layer behind your model. So now we're going to use our magic wand tool, And you'll see that we have some options up here. One of them is this feathering. We're going to set our feathering at 3. What that does is along the edge of our image, it will make it a little bit fuzzy. That will make it so it looks a little bit more, a little less cut out. And then we're going to, we'll see what our tolerance does and see how this works. And you want to make sure you have Unite. What that does is it means that as you continue using your magic wand, it'll continue selecting. So the magic wand is really looking for, oops, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm going to go up to my model layer. The magic wand is looking for pixels that all look the same. So see how it did not really differentiate too well those pixels? It really selected too much of this model. I really just want her hair. So that means that my tolerance is too high. So let me do it at, say, 40 and try again. Yep, a little bit less. So now I'm just going to continue clicking and see it add in more hair. So again, it is, oh, it's too much. Command Z. Control Z if you're on a PC. And just continuing to move throughout my model, grabbing these other little pieces. And I'll show you how to get rid of the stuff in the middle of her ear in a second. But all of this looks pretty well cut out. This is going to get a little tricky up here. And I'm just clicking. A good note, a little kind of key, oops, Control Z, Command Z if you're on a Mac. A good kind of trick when you're working with the magic wand is to work from the furthest part of the area you want to correct in, because then you can kind of train it. It looks like I'm not going to get much more out of it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll show you how to get that in a moment. All right, so we've done pretty good here. So I need to get rid of this right here. So therefore, I need to actually subtract it. So up here is the subtract key, and I can go in there with the magic wand, or I actually kind of like my lasso tool for this. There's a lasso tool. And with the lasso tool, I'm just going to make a circle around that. Oops, Command Z. I need to make sure it's on the subtract. And I'm going to subtract that from the selection. I want to add in this hair to the selection. There are other ways to do this where you can get the individual hairs in there. I'm just using my lasso tool and I'm adding to my selection. Because I know what I'm going to have happening in here. Yeah. So this looks pretty darn good. I like where everything is. I feel like I'm well selected. If I wanted to move this back from her hair a little bit, I could. That's just a matter of subtracting. I can subtract away from her ear a little bit and reveal a little more of her ear. I can reveal a little more of her skin back here. This is just the lasso tool, and I'm just using my subtract. I'm subtracting from my selection. And when you are done doing this, press delete. You have now deleted her hair. Okay, so next I know that I'm going to be flipping this around. For some reason when I flip it on the other document, it's not working out well. So I'm going to flip it here. I'm going to flip it horizontally. So image, transform, flip horizontally, and now it's flipped the other way. Now I'm going to copy it and paste it, Control or Command C to copy, Control or Command V to paste. Now I'm going to change the opacity. I'm going to make it a little bit see-through to place it properly. So I'm going to image, edit free transform, and that allows me to move my horses to exactly where I want them to be. So if you find that you're moving your model, just make sure you've chosen your horses. So yep, that's where I want them to be. Okay, so now my next bit, I'm going to grab this background layer and put it beneath my model. And now I have the horses showing through. Of course, they're still transparent, so I'm going to make them a little bit darker and make it sort of fit in a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that. So my horses are selected, and I'm going to change the opacity back on the horses. Well, I think that that's good. I think I'm going to leave it right like that. My opacity. If I wanted to, I could add some color and stuff to this layer, but I just want to keep this as a very introductory sort of composite project. So once you have your horses or your other image inside your model's hair, we're going to go ahead and save it. So if you wanted to work on it again later, you would save it as a Photoshop file. We are done with it for now, so we are going to, well, we'll just save it. I'm going to save, I'm going to export as a JPEG, and it gives me my dimensions, and if I wanted to get it printed, I would put my quality at 100. I'm not going to print this, so I don't really care about quality, and I'm not going to attach the metadata, and I'm going to click on Save. I could change the title of this to Model Composite Photo, and click Save. And that's it. My project is